Why did the Raiders lose? Why did the Raiders lose, Leek?
Well, in the first, we lost the game in the first half. The defense did what they were supposed to do. I mean, holding the Chargers to 14 points when you're on the field for all of that time, and the offense is not giving you anything to be excited about in the first half. I can't blame the defense for giving up 2 tugs. Now, granted, I don't like giving one up on the first possession of the game. Coming out and them setting the tone, you know, Eckler all night was effective. Ran it down a throat from the gate. His first 2 carries were for like 29 yards or something like that, which you never want to see from a dude like that, because you know he has more in his bag than just that. You know, if he's getting active in the straight handoff game, what's he gonna do with the wheel route later, which we saw? What's he gonna do in the dump off game? So you don't like to see that. It got the rhythm going real early for their offense, but the game was lost early on in the offensive end. To me, it didn't look like coming out the gate, Josh Jacobs really had the burst and the step that we see from him usually. And Gruden wanted to set the tone with the run like he usually does. And for me, it just wasn't working. It was, you know, he was getting stuffed at the line, a yard here, 2 yards there. Didn't really, you know, have the explosion. I would have rather seen a change in the game plan. Let's spread it out. Let's let Derek Carr, you know, show us who he truly is on this primetime Monday night. Everybody's calling him the one of the top 3 MVP candidates so far in the year. Let's see what he could do. Let's spread it out. Let's throw the ball around. And we didn't really get that game plan in the first. So all those 3 and outs kind of killed the momentum and didn't really give our defense a chance to rest. So that was kind of where, you know, the game was lost. You go down 21-0 coming in and going into the half, doesn't set you up for success. We've been a team so far that's come back from deficits, but 21-0, you got to pass the sticks, bro. Like, I mean, what else, you know, can you do from that point? So coming out how they did in the second, I liked the energy, but it was just too little too late. Because once that drive failed after we scored 14 and answer, we didn't have nothing left.
Well, Albert, let me ask you this, because I'm watching that game. I do agree with Leek's point of view where I really thought they should have gone to the pass a little more. I felt like they didn't target Darren Waller as early in the game as they normally like to get him going. Because once you saw in the second half, once Waller got involved in the passing game, they were a different team. And then, you know, they started mixing in like the deep bombs, the rugs, which they connected for more than half the time, you know, with Carr. Like, did you notice like maybe there was less urgency to get the playmakers involved in the passing game?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, overall, I think, you know, I agree with Leek that the defense did good. You know what I mean? It just didn't hold up. I feel like the offense is the one that really let this game go, to be honest. I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunities. I feel like I'm always in favor, and I like it when, you know, at times when coaches and players like to go on that 4th down and they go for it. You know, I feel like there was a lot of times where it's like, I don't know if Gruden's the one that made the call. That's what it looked like to me. But I feel like a lot of times, which is kind of opposite, right? Normally, it was like you get the argument between Gruden and Carr, which was just like, you know, where Gruden has publicly been the one to be like, you know what, I wish Carr would, you know, do a little more and take the initiative, or, you know, and I feel like this was kind of the opposite in this aspect. You know, I feel like Carr played a little safe. And I feel like, in the second half specifically, it was like you got that momentum, that third quarter, you know, quick 14, and then went stagnant and the offense just didn't capitalize on the different things. A lot of, you know, letdowns and missed opportunities, and just, I don't know, man, it just felt like they didn't want to go for it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, I agree too with, you know, I'm a big ass Josh Jacobs fan. I got his jersey on right now, and it's like, I know it was his first game back, but I mean, come on, man. I think the most out of all, I don't know, I forget the exact how many touches he had, but I think the most he had, like his longest carry was like 10 yards. I think he finished with like 40 something yards. You know, it's like, yeah, you can't win with that.
Yeah.
Do you
I
think?
agree too, because how big was that? Real quick, Keith, sorry. How big was that when that 4th and 1 when they overturned, when they challenged it, and then we ended up punting, and they scored the 3rd touchdown and a half off of that. You know, so it's like, damn, if they was gonna score anyways, we might as well have just lost it on downs, and you know, at least tried to go for it. You know, so that was killer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I look at this game, and it's really interesting because, like, I think on one hand, while the Raiders did lose, you know, obviously I'm on record. I think the Chargers are going to win that division. I think the Chargers, from a talent standpoint, are very underrated. every game besides the Dallas game they've been in, they've gotten the job done in those close situations. And you saw what the Raiders' potential could be this season with how they were just so quickly able to come back in the second half and put the points on the board and move the football the way they did. I do kind of feel like in the second half, once they got the second touchdown and they kind of stalled out on the sack with Carr, which pretty much put them out of field goal position. I do know that Carlson had a chance to make the field goal, but I do think Carr getting sacked in that situation backs them up at least another 5-10 yards. It is the difference between that field goal hooking inside the post and hooking out. And then from there, the momentum was gone. But I do feel like with the Raiders offense, when they're clicking, when everything's going good, that's a top 5 offense, passing wise, at least, because we got to see what happens to Josh Jacobs when he comes back healthy. But passing wise, I do feel like when they're on, it's very hard to touch what they can do with the weapons they have in the intermediate game, especially with Ruggs and the deep throws.
Yeah, I mean, I think too, to Albert's point too, talking about Darren Waller getting going in that second half. When you have a threat like that, when you have someone who's a top 5 receiver of the football, you know what I'm saying? He's not a wide receiver, but a receiver of the football, which I think he is in the league. Sometimes you gotta go to him, even if it looks like he's covered. If he's singled, sometimes if he's doubled. Nobody has a height advantage on him or athleticism advantage on him defensively, like we saw in the end zone on that touchdown he grabbed. Give him the opportunity. And you saw how hyped up and fired up he was, spiking the ball too many damn times because he wanted the ball thrown to him more often. That's what he was frustrated about. Throw me the damn ball. When you got somebody of his size and athleticism and skill set, you got to give him a chance to just go up there, and that can spark your offense, especially when you're having trouble on third down like we were in the first half. You got to go to your big target, give him a shot.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Defensively, I do feel like, Albert, I'll throw this to you, but I do feel like Justin Herbert, he made the plays that you need to make to win the game. And I do think, like Leek and I touched on this before, we, came on here. The one thing I do like about Justin Herbert's game that's like so scary is when you give him a cushion like that, 21-0, and he's not making those mistakes, which he rarely does make unless you count the Dallas game. It's very hard to get back in a situation like that in that kind of contest because he's so accurate with the football and he moves the chains so good. And I don't know, what happened with Cooks, man? Because Cooks had a day.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Justin Herbert is like he's been playing lately like he's flowing, man. In this game specifically, even against the Chiefs too, man. Like he had his moments in this game where it was just like he was making the correct play, the correct spotting on the play, the correct eye, the correct throw, the correct second release. Everything when he's going and when he's flowing, it's like, bro, it's I mean, you saw it, the first quarter, first 5 minutes, you know what I mean? He was like 6 for 6, the first couple. And then I know, he was like 1 for 3 after that. But it was like when he's on, he's on. And it's funny, too, that ironically, that's how it is for Derek Carr, too. When he's on, he's on. It's just that this game and specifically today, he had the upper hand on Derek Carr. Now, as far as like offensively with the Chargers in general, bro, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get more production out of Eckler. I mean, he was going like he was just every single time was like on go. He was playing like I thought Josh Jacobs was going to play in his return. Now, mind you, there's some bias there because obviously I'm a big fan, but I thought that's the way he was going to be running and taking that ball straight down the line, But ironically, Eckler was the one doing that.
Okay, so Leek, we need to talk about this now because we've had this conversation in the preseason. And maybe there's a little less strain on it because the whole team, obviously, from start to finish more so, unless you count the second half, like, the Raiders did not play their best game. But with Derek Carr, like we've always talked about it, and I want to get both your opinions on this, but I'll go with Leek first. Derek Carr, you've said in the past, he has inconsistencies with how he throws the football, obviously. He made some great plays tonight to Ruggs and Waller, obviously throwing him the lob to go get the touchdown. For you, what is it about Derek Carr, like, that when he's off, he's off? Like, why is it that Derek Carr at times can look like you said, an MVP candidate, but then other times it just feels like something's missing? Why do you think that's always been that case?
Pressure. So when Derek Carr is not under pressure, then he's the Derek Carr that ESPN wants to call the MVP candidate and an elite quarterback. And if you give him time, he can stand back there in the pocket, find you, and make a nice throw. There's no question about that. He can throw the football. When he's under pressure is when he has trouble. He's not the most elusive. He's not the most escapable quarterback. He's not the extend the play and make an athletic off of 1 foot quarterback. He's not Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, let alone Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. So when he's under pressure is when Derek Carr has a tough time. He at times you see when the sack is coming, he'll fold and go down because he knows his legs aren't gonna give him the ability to get out of there and extend the play. So when Derek Carr was in the MVP conversation a few years back when we made the playoffs, he got hurt. We had the best pass blocking O-line in the league, if not the best top 2 or top 3 for sure. Right now, we haven't had that. He's been able to have great quarters, great overtimes, great fourth quarters when the O-line will step up and give him some time. But he hasn't completely had complete great games throughout because he's not getting that same protection that we were accustomed to see him getting when he was looking like elite. And today we saw that they were getting to him. And at any time that they get to him is when you're going to see him have trouble. He's going to be inaccurate. He's going to get rid of it quick. He's going to throw it away, and sometimes he doesn't even throw it away when you need him to throw it away. When he gets under pressure is when he has trouble. That's why I have trouble classifying him with the elites, is because when it's forced to ad-lib, his ad-lib game isn't up there with the elites for me.
Yeah, and I'll go even a little further than that too. It's just spotty, man. To be honest, in his record, like he's well, he's like I don't know exactly. I forget off the top of my head. I'm 7 years already in or something like that. Like he's there's really no much excuse on his part at this stage in his career, bro. Like this year is the one where they're just like, and John Gruden too, he has some fault in this. Don't know. Let me like get him off the hook. But this is the year that was just like, all right, they got to get it. Like this, like it's either gonna work with him or it's not. You know what I mean? Like this was the year. And
I agree.
He's just been spotty, man. Like there's been times like where it's like he's on a roll, and then again, to his point, man, when he gets into pressure, he does it's like it's not even waiting to the last second. It's like it's not going his way and he just throws it out. Like just gives up on the play. That's the type of things where we look and we're just like, man, you didn't even, you know what I mean? Like waited the last little second, or even just then you get like some dumb plays that he's done in the past, like trying to dive and do a flip for a first down, but doesn't get nowhere near it, or just goes out of bounds, or does that little handout reach thing that he does.
Yeah.
Those little things like that makes him spotty, but that makes us as fans, hard to, we're hardcore fans, of course, but that
especially, I was gonna say, especially as Raider fans, like when you see him taking a sack, okay, you're about to get sacked, but you see him cover up and go down. That hurts us because we Raiders fans, we want to see heart. Like I don't make a damn play with your heart. I want to see toughness, especially from my quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like don't just fold when the pressure's in your face. Make something happen. Like that shit hurt.
Yeah.
So the Raiders twice in back-to-back years. This is an interesting situation because for the past 2 years, the Raiders have gotten out to hot starts. They were coming into this game on Monday night. They were one of 2 remaining undefeated teams. Obviously, Arizona won yesterday against the Rams, which no one saw coming. So they're still undefeated. But the Raiders are now 3-1. And we can argue about this, a little bit tomorrow, Leek. But I think everyone is of the mindset that the NFC West is probably going to be the most competitive division in football, like bar none. But I also have made the case that the NFC West, maybe while it's a notch lower, I still feel like it's wide open. I don't think Kansas City's as good as they have been the past couple of years, obviously. While I don't think the Broncos are going to be more than an 8-8 or 9-8 or like 10-17 at the best, they'll still give everyone that division problems because of the defense. So I really feel like you're in like a three-way situation between like Kansas City, Oakland, and LA. And it is a situation where like the best team in those close games is going to come over the division. Are you less confident now in the Raiders going forward, or are you more confident, or is it just staying the same? Like, because I know Leek was not all the way bought in with the Raiders coming into this game. Leek literally told us last week, I got to see how they do on Monday night. So what is your premonitions about the Raiders now after what you saw tonight?
Well, the last two games, overtime, I mean, it was you could have made. Luckily, like I'm not gonna say luckily, but we could have potentially up prior to this loss. We could have potentially lost the last two had it not been for like maybe a little luck on our end, or just maybe some calls that were favored our way. So it's tough to say how I'm gonna look at them going forward. I know we don't exactly have the easiest schedule. I definitely I'm really interested to see. I'm still personally interested in that Chiefs game. I'm not confident that we're going to win it, after seeing, tonight. But I'm still interested. I'm still confident. I'm still hopeful for them for sure. I'm thinking, at least wild card. That's like kind of like where I'm at right there right now. Maybe wild card spot, but yeah, not sold high on them, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I'm kind of still where I was a week ago. What I saw tonight didn't change drastically anything I thought about the Raiders. But what I do want to say is that I am content with my defense. The defense, I'm content with the pass rush. That's something that we haven't had in years, consistently. We going back to even when we had Khalil, he was the only one doing it. Now we got three guys up front that can get to you at any given moment. So I will say that I do like my defense. So I don't have I'm not completely unconfident in the Raiders. And because we know our offense can put up points, it's just a matter of piecing it together on a night-by-night basis consistently, So, and like other teams have, it's football, it's the NFL. You're going to have injuries. We had two corners go down tonight, which was crazy. Luckily for us, Justin Herbert didn't even decide to exploit that like he could have. He didn't even go to Mike Williams like he could have, because Austin Eckler and Jared Cook was just dominating us so much that he didn't have to do that. But if he wanted to expose that, Mike Williams probably could have went for 8 for 120. So but I do like my defense and I like my offense, which is weird because I don't love where we're at. I like where we're at, but I don't love it, even though on those two sides of the ball, and I like Carlson too as a kicker. Like, we got some good stuff. It's just a matter of piecing it together on a week by week basis. And like I told y'all last week on the show, and Albert, you've probably had the same feeling too a little bit.
Yeah.
I told them, I said I would have been more impressed with us dominating the Dolphins like the cellar dweller that they are, than I would have been with us beating the Steelers and the Ravens. Because we've seen the Raiders play up to competition before. We do that a lot. But it's not often that we put our foot on the necks of the teams we're supposed to beat. And when we do that, I'll know that we're the team that we're supposed to beat. When I can look at the schedule and forecast, oh yeah, we're gonna beat the Broncos twice. We're gonna beat this team. That's when I'll be confident in the Raiders. I'm not there with them yet.
Yeah.
All right, one final question before we get out of here. Just a fun one, but the Raiders obviously have been in California since the dawn of time. Before they went to Vegas. The Chargers obviously don't have a huge fan base in LA like they did in San Diego, but obviously the Raiders travel well always. But were either of you two watching that game just surprised at how it just felt like it was a away game for the Chargers with how many Raider fans like blitzed that stadium? Like, were you just surprised the amount of Raider fans that were in the building alone?
Nah, man. Me personally, no, man. It's like, you gotta think, it's LA. Like, I had, looking on Instagram and social media in general, I had about like 6 or 7 about my homies, that went. Some of them traveled to go there. Some of them stay in LA already. And yeah, no surprise, man. Because when you like you said, San Diego, predominantly San Diego. I mean, the Chargers, predominantly in San Diego. They didn't exactly have the hugest fan base, either going into this. But it's LA, man. Like, Raiders there's people that still have Los Angeles Raiders hats. You know what I mean? Like there's still people that rock Los Angeles tattoos from the Raiders. You know what I mean? So it's like no surprise to me. You know, I personally love to see it. You know what I mean? And then and like I said, I got a bunch of homies that are over there and that went to the game, and I was looking at their point of views from their seats. And just the way everything looked. I mean, even the field looked like it was a, you know what I mean? Just I get it, like you can see the Chargers, you know, everything, but like the way the stadium is, it just looked black. You know what I mean? Like I liked it. I love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one team to bring the Super Bowl to LA. That's the Raiders, baby. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, nah, the Chargers, man. That's why y'all out of San Diego. Y'all don't got enough fans in SoCal like that. We brought the Super Bowl to LA, not no damn Chargers. No, that's us. You'll get some Rams fans. You got some Rams fans that's loyal, but that's Raiders. NWA made the Raiders hats famous, baby. Come on, what are we talking about?
All right, I feel it. Well, good to see two of my friends who are two of the best Raider fans in spirits after a tough loss tonight. That's going to do it for this.
We'll be all right. We got to see him again. We'll see him again.
All right. We'll see you guys on another episode of the Monday Night Water Cooler 916 Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, subscribe, Apple, Spotify, all that stuff. And we're going to shoot this up again tomorrow night with the whole crew. But see you soon. Have a good one.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Yeah, peace.